What is up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire of Assets here with another little MetaZoo collection that I picked up recently. This one I actually bought off of eBay. Pretty surprising. It can be really tough to find deals on eBay, but this was a pretty good deal. The listing wasn't the most descriptive and it ended at a really weird time. So we're going to break down this collection, maybe talk about some sales recently that I've had, and then we are going to talk about grading with SGC. I'm going to send a submission off with them, but that's what we're talking about today. So let's get the camera flipped around and we will show you guys these cards and kind of talk through the process. Alright guys, so I picked up two different lots here, both from the same seller. He had about 4 things ending. I won 2 of them. I should have probably went a little higher, but I was bidding probably around 50 to 60% of total value, which is really strong. I think I picked up this lot for, one of them was 90 and the other one was like 120-ish, I believe. We'll go through the artifacts first. It's mostly like a full hollow, reverse hollow set. I really like these right now just due to the whole reserve list thing. They're basically pieces of power, and they're about $20 a card. And I think I picked up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 of them. So should be roughly, well, full hollows are worth 20. I would say reverse hollows are probably 10 to 15. So you're probably talking $200, and I think I paid less than 100. I think this was the $90 lot. It's a pretty good deal. And some of these might get graded. Don't know if that's on the case or if that's on the card, but I'm going to go through these. Mermaid Scales here, mediums third eye, reverse hollow, full hollow, lightning glass full hollow, holy gem full hollow, eternal snowflake, earth's core reverse, black hole shard full and reverse, forest god's amber reverse and full, and a reverse blood ruby. I'm going to go through and see if I need any of these in my first edition set. Don't think I do, however. And then over here we got the cryptids, and I think this was 120. Full hollow metal man, reverse hollow Tizaruk. I just cannot get away from these guys lately. Ton of these ones. Another one, reverse hollow babe, full hollow babe, reverse hollow metal man, Choop full in reverse, and Jersey Devil full in reverse as well. So those are the cards that I recently picked up. I am going to look through these. I'll probably sell some and then see if I want to grade any, which takes me into grading with SGC. I'm going to flip the camera back around and we will talk about that. Alright guys, so grading with SGC, I've been kind of putting it off. Their secondary market values in Pokemon particularly are really tough. If you're not hitting SGC 10s, the 9.5 seem to be selling for a lot of the raw cards, and you got $30 worth of grading in it. So really tough there in Pokemon. However, I feel pretty confident with some of these MetaZoo cards. If I look them over really good, I should be able to hit mostly 10s and 9.5s, and I'm going to give it a shot. I've been really waiting and kind of hoarding cards to send to PSA, but currently their model is you have to buy a $100 yearly subscription, and then you have to enter in a raffle that they hold about 2 times a week, and they select about 2,000 people, I've heard, and each person gets to submit 5 cards for $50 a piece. But unfortunately those are held during the middle of the work week on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I work a full-time job, so it's basically impossible for me to ever get into that raffle, and I just don't really like the system of having to pay $100 up front to maybe or maybe not be able to grade your cards with them. And then $50 too is pretty steep, and you're talking a 3-month turnaround time. So with all of that being said, there's not a lot of MetaZoo graded with SGC. I am seeing some 10s do some decent prices. Some stuff's just not worth grading at this point. But I think if you hit 10s, you can do a fair amount of markup. And I just finally decided to do it. I did see a quote that I thought was kind of fitting by Card Collector 2, which is Ryan. He does mostly sports card stuff, but he just posted a screenshot of his 90-day sales on eBay, hitting $350,000, so obviously a huge seller. And somebody was asking like what helped, what got him to that number. Obviously that's on pace to do over $1 million a year in sales just on eBay, which is crazy. And he said that you have to do, it was basically like practice over perfection. Like you have to perform. You gotta not be perfect. You gotta be okay just taking the risk, taking what you can work with, grading stuff, and flipping it. It's way better than sitting on. I've been sitting on some of these cards for 18 months since my last PSA submission in November of 2020, and they've done nothing. They've sat here, and it's just money held in inventory, and obviously that's not making you any money. So I'm going to take that advice. I'm going to put. I'm gonna send some of these off to get graded. Got a couple UFC cards I'm gonna grade. I'm gonna send some Metazoo. Thinking probably send between 10 and 20 cards. Be around $500 in grading fees. Obviously at $30 a card, but they should be back in less than a month, which is good. And we're just gonna see how it goes. See if there's any profit to be made there. If grading with SGC makes sense. Obviously at $30 a card, it's got to be a decent card. I think any of the artifacts, full hollow, are probably worth grading. They're about a $20 card. I would think if you hit an SGC 10, you could pretty easily sell for between 100 to 200, depending on what it is and how the market is. But that's a pretty good markup. You'd have a little less than 50 in the card probably. I got some of these obviously pretty cheap with the deal that I got. So I think it's worth it. We're going to look them over really good and see if we can't send a couple off. The other nice thing about SGC is there is a 9.5. So it's not just 9 or 10 like with PSA. You do have kind of the safety net of a PSA or of a SGC 9.5, where you're probably going to get slightly above the raw value, because I think of an SGC 9, you're basically going to pay what the card costs raw. So the 9.5 maybe a slight bump over that, but you're really hoping for the 10s, which is why I'm going to look the cards over so well. And then kind of just going to talk about selling really quick. In the last week, I've listed quite a bit of stuff, and stuff that has been sitting out there has sold. I had a Magic the Gathering factory foil set that I picked up in a PWCC auction way back in October. That's been listed since basically November, and that just sold. I sold the Steve Aoki Metazoo numbered card for $150. I sold a pretty good chunk of Metazoo cards to a guy, which was nice. Just a lot of stuff selling, a lot of old Pokemon. Some Japanese cards that I had listed have sold. Some just regular modern Pokemon has sold. Stuff's really starting to sell pretty well, which is good. I don't know if the market's kind of picking up a little bit, or if people are just finally starting to spend some money after the holidays and have some spendable income. But that's kind of all I had for you guys today. Just wanted to show the pickup and then my thoughts on the SGC grading. I'll probably do a whole video on the cards that I'm going to submit, and then kind of how to submit with SGC. I think that would probably be valuable for some people out there, and it makes for a nice little video. Otherwise, I do have some nice statistic stuff coming down the pipeline pretty soon. Hopefully I can finish that this weekend and then get those videos up next week for you guys. Also possibly working on a website with some helpful Metazoo information that I think is kind of hard to find in other places. So working on that in the background as well. Lots going on, but as always, thanks guys for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. We're trying to keep pushing towards that 1,000 number, coming up on our 1-year anniversary here. But thank you everybody, and I will see you in the next video.